Yeah, Cool Ranch Dorito. That's what we got here. Cool Ranch Dorito. But it's keto. That is good. Hey everyone, I'm Dave, and today we're making cottage cheese keto versions of these Doritos, the Cool Ranch one. Was that a pretty cool intro? I was trying to make it high energy. Hi, I'm Dave. How's it going? Like always, we're gonna try cooking something. Now, I recently made cottage cheese nacho Doritos on the channel, and you guys loved them. Got like tons of views. Everyone was trying them. They were liking them. And a lot of people were asking me to do a Cool Ranch version of the video. I recently made a very exciting discovery, interesting discovery, and it was thanks to you guys, y'all. How do you say that? And that discovery was this beautiful thing called cheesecloth. So you guys kept telling me to use cheesecloth to strain my cottage cheese. A lot of these keto cottage cheese recipes require straining because, you know, all that liquid is too wet and it makes the recipe not work, as can be seen in some of my other keto videos where I didn't know that. But then I kind of converted into this person who uses paper towels to strain the cheese, the cottage cheese. But now I'm upgrading again to cheesecloth. In a recent video that I recorded, which I don't think is out yet because I'm also recording it today, I wanted to rush the Dorito one since you guys like the Dorito video so much. I want to put this one out first. So this one's going to come out first. Then the next video, you will see me discover the cheesecloth, and ooh, was I delighted. That's a little teaser there. You know, you got to subscribe to see my reaction. Dave's reaction to cheesecloth. The thing people wanted and never knew they wanted. Reaction to cheesecloth videos. So right now I'm taking 1 cup of cottage cheese, small curd, extra creamy. Ooh, maybe that's bad. Maybe I shouldn't have gotten extra creamy. Either way, 1 cup of that into a measuring cup. And then you just kind of put it onto this cheesecloth thing. It's pretty fancy, like that, right? Now it gets a little messy, but so did the paper towel method I had been using. So it's, you know, about the same. All right, we then take our little cheesecloth. All right, so you just squeeze it. Okay, you ready? Check this out. This is really fun. You squeeze it, and it's like popping a mega pimple. Ooh. Good forearm exercise. Get all that juice out of there. Although I think we're gonna end up with less than a cup, and that almost caused issues with our Dorito recipe, so maybe I should add a little more. But look at that. Look at all that. Look at all that liquid that came out. And what you end up with, this stuff is cheap, by the way. I'll put a link to it, to cheesecloth. Look at that, just the curds, basically. All right, I got like my measuring cup back because I want to see if we still have a cup or close to a cup. Filling this, I'm trying not to spill it. It's not going great. I have the alarm music stuck in my head from like when you set your alarm on your phone. It's a weird thing to have stuck in your head. All right, do we still have a cup? Or are we not even close? We're pretty close. We got like 3/4 of a cup. I should probably get a little more cottage cheese. Stand by. Because here's the thing, we want a cup of cottage cheese after straining. And I should have learned this because last time I had the same issue. Just go ahead and like start with 1.5 cups. And then when it's all said and done, make sure you have only 1 cup that you're using. So I'm just gonna add a little more cottage cheese to this cloth, and I'll be back 1 second. All right, so I gotta go wash my hands, but I ended up with a cup of strained cottage cheese when all was said and done. We also need to blend that, so I'm gonna need to get my little blender too. I will say I did get some complaints in the last video about not quite being specific enough when it comes to serving size. So I'm gonna try to actually count the chips I get out of this and give you a realistic serving size. All right, so I'll take a little blender, any old food processor you can think of. I'm gonna use my Ninja Chopper because it's 10 bucks or 20 bucks on Walmart. Blend that up till it's a nice smooth texture, which it is. We really got all the liquid out. I'm pretty proud of us. The cheesecloth makes a huge difference in liquidity. That's like a money word, liquidity. How is your liquidity, guys? Let me know. This would be a good spot. Oh, it fell. Everyone's sleeping. This would be a good spot for an ad for like Birch Gold or something, but I don't have any sponsors. Can I reuse this? I mean, it's not super dirty. You know, save a dish. All I did was put this same cottage cheese in it, so why not put the cottage cheese back in it instead of using a whole new dish? All right, so we take our cottage cheese, put it into a bowl. It's gonna turn into Doritos. Based on the last one, the nacho cheese one, I have high hopes because that one was really good. I've actually made it like 3 times since I recorded that video because me and my family enjoyed it. Now in the same bowl, we wanna add 1 cup of almond flour. I've got the Great Value brand. What did someone say the other day? Oh, it's so funny. I think it was about the Great Value cottage cheese. There, 1 cup of that. They were going off on a rant in the comments about how Great Value is like the least healthy, worst food ever. They may be right. It's a Walmart house brand. I don't know. I struggle a little bit. I know a lot of channels, especially in the keto sphere, are very health conscious, and I should be too, but I also feel like every day I'm learning some new thing I can't eat. I kind of just try not to worry too much. Like if I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go. Tablespoon of psyllium fiber. Okay, so this is what I got. Cone psyllium husk fiber. And we're gonna do 1 tablespoon of that. It's called psyllium husk powder, not fiber. Oh, but it says fiber on there. Anyways, same thing. Then 1 tablespoon of whey protein isolate, which is basically pure protein. I got this IsoPure stuff, I think off Amazon. It's like 30 bucks for the bag, but it lasts a long time and the recipe only uses 1 tablespoon. So you could make tons and tons of Keto Doritos if you like this recipe. And you could also make protein shakes and stuff. We then want a half a teaspoon of xanthan gum. Can you believe the price of Doritos now, by the way? Half a teaspoon of xanthan gum. My kids still like it. But I was like ordering them the other day. They're like $7 for a bag of Doritos. I don't really understand it. Anyway, someone was telling me xanthan gum is not low carb, but it says 0 carbs on it. So I don't know. For a 1/4 teaspoon. And I used a half a teaspoon, so 0 plus 0. It's still 0. I don't know. Tell me in the comments why that's... Someone said it was high carb, xanthan gum, so I'm confused by that. So when I had a tablespoon of olive oil, they have a spot at Universal Studios that's like all dedicated to olive oil and Popeye. They're classics. You know, you don't hear much about them anymore. Tablespoon of olive oil, a tablespoon of ranch seasoning powdered. I go to theme parks a lot, I will say. I live pretty close to the Orlando theme parks, so I do end up going there pretty often. All right, so I've got this just ranch seasoning from Hidden Valley. We're gonna use a tablespoon of that in our mix. This is gonna give us our ranch seasoning flavor. Makes sense. Cool ranch Doritos. Then we want half a teaspoon of garlic powder and half a teaspoon of onion powder. There's the onion, here's the garlic, and then we're also gonna put a 1/4 teaspoon of smoked paprika in there, but let's do the garlic powder first, right there. So I gotta come clean, guys. I do videos at theme parks. It's a very small channel. It's like a passion project. That's not what I need to come clean about. What I need to come clean about is I kind of fell off the keto wagon. I talked about this in my ice cream video, which is coming up too. 1/4 teaspoon of smoked paprika, also recorded today. So I didn't fall off the wagon twice. It's just the same day that I'm recording the 2 videos. But I'm getting back on. I had family in town, I was vacationing, and you know, sometimes it's hard to stay on with that stuff. Pretty mad at myself. I'm like, man, I feel like I just took 10 steps backwards after like weeks and weeks of doing good keto to fail. But you know what? You can't beat yourself up because then you'll never restart. You're like, oh, I'm gonna fail, and you never restart. And so I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna restart. It's all right. It'll work out. All right, so I added a 1/4 teaspoon of salt to that as well. But I would love to do better. I'm almost 40, and I feel like I gotta get my weight down. As a 40-year-old, I'm having a midlife crisis, you know? Turning 40 soon. Not yet, but by the time this video comes out, I still probably won't be 40, but I'll be very close. Oh no, what happened? I'm getting my little mixer thingy. Oh, I put it in the wrong side. And we're gonna mix it up. Mix, 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 all day long. Mix, 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 while I sing a song. Okay, so that looks like a pretty cohesive dough. I mean, it smells like Cool Ranch Doritos, which is a good sign. It's definitely a good way to clean it. I also, you know, I like to start YouTube channels. And so, like I said, I have the one where I'm at theme parks, not a very big channel. It was called Dave's Destinations, but I changed it to Wandering with Dave because you got Cooking with Dave and then Wandering with Dave, and I could do travel stuff over there. So if you want to check that out, check it out. But I also had this great genius idea of, hey, wouldn't it be cool to like help people eat keto at theme parks and when they're on vacation and like try out restaurants, et cetera, or just try food at these like places and create content out of it with like reviews. So I'm taking some parchment paper here and setting it down. Then take your dough and just pour it out onto the parchment paper. So that was my thought. And so I started putting those on the theme park channel, but no one was watching them. So I was like, you know what? I might as well just put them on a new channel. Because why not have 80 channels that no one watches? And the new channel is called Eating with Dave, right? So you got Cooking with Dave, Wandering with Dave, and Eating with Dave. I thought that was kind of creative. Sort of, kind of. Another piece of parchment paper, I'm stuttering. Another piece of parchment paper. Put another piece of parchment paper, I cannot say parchment paper. Put another piece of parchment paper on top, and then we're gonna squeeze it down, and then we're gonna get our rolling pin, and we're gonna roll it out. I did it. I'll probably leave just all that failing to talk in the video, because it's just entertaining to watch me mess up. So roll it out. I'm using my Rat Patootie roller, also known as Ratatouille. I want to roll it this way a little bit. I guess it doesn't really matter, whatever floats your boat, but you want to get it nice and thin because it's going to be chips, right? So you'd assume the thinner, the crispier. But yeah, and in one of my Eating with Dave videos, I actually did not eat keto because I was still in cheat mode. Okay, so this kind of looks like chips. Not really. It looks like if you took a bag of Doritos, filled it with water, and then squished it together. I feel like literally all of you can do a better job creating uniform chips than me, but you know, It is what it is. So what I learned last time is if I kind of do this sort of situation where I do these parallel lines, I can then turn them into chips pretty easily doing angled lines. You know, they don't need to look perfect, but there, that's chip-like. That's Dorito-like. You basically just want to cut them all up. And again, it's not going to be perfect, so it's going to be hard to tell the exact macros. Stop curling up on me, paper. You can cut them in any shape you want, guys. If you want them to be super chippy, cut them into triangles, like so. If you don't care, cut them into whatever. So I'm gonna cut these all up into chip shapes, and then we'll be back and cook them. And we're gonna try something you guys really kept suggesting in the last video. You wanted me to try air frying them. So we deep fried them and we baked them. Deep frying was better than baking, but a lot of you wanted me to air fry them, so we're gonna try that this time. And we'll also probably deep fry a couple, because why not? All right, I'm back. I've cut up all these little Doritos, and we do need to make some extra seasoning for the end, but for now, I pulled out this fancy pants Ninja air fryer thingy. You know, Ninja really needs to sponsor me, honestly. I don't even intend to advertise them, but they keep doing it. I ended up with 100 chips. They're not all perfectly the exact same size. Okay, so a serving size is about 10 chips, obviously not perfectly, but 1/10 of the recipe would be your serving size, 10 chips. You know, a lot of times people eat 20 chips. If you eat 10 chips, you're gonna be at 142 calories and 2 net carbs, 3.7 full carbs. You decide to go with the double serving and do 20, then you're at like 300 calories and 4.5 net carbs, or 4.2 net carbs. So not the craziest thing, not that bad. If you want it as a snack, it's definitely better than Doritos, which 12 chips, similar serving size, are 18 carbs and 150 calories. So lower calorie, well, calories pretty close. Slightly lower calorie, way lower carb count. This says 60 grams of protein too, so each serving would have 6 grams of protein. All right, I don't know how to air fry. How do we air fry them? Preheat air fryer to 350, okay. I just bought this. Okay, air fry. And then do I hit start? What happened? All right, I figured out how to use the air fryer. I had to put it over there because it was tripping the breaker over here. So we're gonna make the Cooler Inch seasoning that we're gonna put on it when it's done. So go ahead and grab a small bowl, and in said bowl, put 1 more tablespoon of your ranch seasoning, like so. You then want to drop in 1/4 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1/8 of a teaspoon of garlic powder, which is, I'm just gonna do half this because it's 1/4. Try to do half of this. It's garlic powder, same with the onion powder, 1/8 of a teaspoon of that. And this is gonna go on our chips when they're done. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Am I gonna spill this? Hold on. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then 1/4 teaspoon of dried parsley. And then mix it up. I can't find the dried parsley, but there's already some like parsley looking stuff in the ranch seasoning. So this will go on our chips once they're completed. We're gonna put them in the air fryer for 5 to 8 minutes at 350 degrees. And then we will maybe try to deep fry some. See how they taste. All right, so I'm over here. I don't know, it's not a great setup, but whatever. Let me turn on this camera. We got an air fryer. We're gonna set it to 350. It's really loud, aggressively loud. We're gonna put some chips in here. Ow, it's hot. That's hot already, because I had already started it. So let's get some chips. I guess I should pause it again while I'm adding the chips. That would make logical sense, wouldn't it? It says not to overcrowd it. I'm just gonna pop them in there. I'll show you here. See, like that. All right, so you probably could put more than this, but this is how many I'm putting in for this first batch, because I wanna fry some up too, but these are gonna be the air fried ones. 5 to 8 minutes in the air fryer. All right, so we're at about 8 minutes for the air fryer. I'm gonna stop it, and we're gonna look and see if these look any good. Oop, I burnt them. 8 minutes is too long, folks. That's what I've learned. Let me try again. I won't throw them away, but I wanna try again. All right, I'm gonna put another batch in, and I'm gonna go 5 minutes this time. I think 5 minutes might be the key. Okay, 5 more minutes have passed. Let's see if they're burnt again. Moment of truth. Kinda still burnt, guys. Maybe they're supposed to look like that? I don't know. This isn't going well. They might be fine, like a little, maybe they just brown up. Maybe that's just what they do. That might be what they're supposed to look like. All right, so we're gonna throw some in some oil and fry them up. Obviously, you could just bake these too. I'm gonna throw a handful in there. Now I am using some sort of fancy oil, sunflower seed, I think? No, I don't know. I don't remember. Might be avocado. I think it was avocado oil. Get them a little crispy here in the oil. They kind of puff up a little bit, which isn't the end of the world. Guess you could squish them down with your tongs. Tong to tong tong tongs. There's a throwback, guys. Little Cisco in the morning. All right, so these are pretty much done after like 20 seconds. Let me get a plate. I'm gonna get some paper towels so that I wouldn't make a greasy mess. So pull them out, put them onto our plate, and there we go. That's what they look like. I actually don't know if they were in focus when I was cooking them, but Hopefully they were, I'll check it. Now we want to take some of that seasoning, put it on it, and try it. I'm gonna try the air fried ones, and I'm gonna try the deep fried ones. Now you may recall we had that extra seasoning, so I'm gonna take, I don't know, just a couple of the chips. All right, let's try one. This is one of the air fried ones, and just put some extra seasoning on it. Obviously you would toss the whole batch in it if you wanted to. We're gonna try it. It tastes nice. Let's try the fried one. Last time I really preferred the fried texture, and I think that's gonna happen again. I will say the air fried texture is a little bit better than the oven texture. Oops. But still fried is the best texture. Yeah, Cooler Ranch Dorito, that's what we got here. Cooler Ranch Dorito. But it's keto. That is good. I like that because that's really, it does taste like Cooler Ranch Dorito. You know how like when you're actually eating Cooler Ranch Doritos, you like to find the ones with extra seasoning? In this situation, you can create your own extra seasoning chips. Put them in there and load them all up with tons and tons of seasoning. Obviously, you could spread this out further than just a couple of chips here. I've got like, basically, what do I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's about one serving size. So right here, I could enjoy this as a snack and be at about just 2.1 net carbs, 3.7 full carbs, and 100 calorie snack. And man, is that good. Cheaper than real Doritos too. If you're missing Doritos, let's say you tried the nacho. If you haven't watched my nacho cheese one, I'll put a link to that at the end of this. Go check that one out. Those are also good. I don't know which is better. They're both really good. I think that I couldn't really choose. I like them both. They're both great. I recommend trying them. And hopefully you like them too. We'll see you next time on Cooking with Dave. Hey, subscribe if you hadn't. It helps me out. And we'll see you. I already said that. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.